Deportivo Alaves snatched 3 points at home, which hasn't been a common sight this season against Real Sociedad. Plenty of points have drifted away from Mendizorroza, where there was a minute's silence like there have been at all the games in Matchday 33 because of the passing of the Pope. And on the field of play, there weren't too many chances in this game. A Basque derby, a little bit of local rivalry. Alaves hoping to get the points that would see them come out of the bottom three, knowing that Las Palmas had already lost prior to kick-off. Still, there weren't too many chances for either side. Here, a sloppy back pass from Joan Jordan. And the ball into the box by Sergio Gomez was sliced behind and, well, ultimately turned behind by goalkeeper Sibera. Handful of changes for both teams in the lineup. Zubimendi back in the starting 11 after having served a one-game ban, and a flick on by Brais Mendez, which was almost met by Mikel Oyarzabal at the far post. Oyarzabal, who's been in a real fine goal-scoring form of late. He scored virtually all of Real Sociedad's goals in recent fixtures. Ramiro here dropping the ball. It's been fouled by Quique Garcia in the process. Ramiro's gone 11 games without a clean sheet prior to this game. Well, it's 12 now. It's an awful pass from Martinez, intercepted by Carlos Vicente, who ran at the Real Sociedad defence at pace, but the referee showing him a yellow card for a dive. Did seem a little bit harsh on Carlos Vicente. Yes, maybe there wasn't too much contact, but perhaps a yellow card for a dive was maybe a tad too much. It was a constant threat down the right-hand side for Real Sociedad. Sanchez now getting forward down the left-hand side. Carlos Martin with a clever ball through to John Guridi. He was looking for the ever-present Quique Garcia inside the box. There's no Zubeldía, no Agard in defence for Real Sociedad, so a rare partnership formed by Pacheco and Martin. Mourinho would slash this chance wide. Ball dropping to both centre-halves. Garces, who made a hash of things, and Mourinho, who couldn't steer that goal, and that ball goal-bound. Changes at half-time. Ander Guevara and Konechny coming on for Carlos Martin. And Joan Jordan, the other player, to be replaced. Slightly surprising in the case of Carlos Martin, who wasn't having a poor performance in that attacking midfield role. Garcia making a nuisance of himself throughout the entire game and creating something out of nothing constantly for Alaves. Here, Mikel Oyarzabal would get a real painful stamp from Mourinho, that the referee did indicate to the players clearly that Mourinho was attempting to head the ball and accidentally trod on Oyarzabal. Yes, it was painful, but there was no malice, and that's why there was no further punishment. Kubo, who didn't see a great deal of in the game. This ball in for Sergio Gomez, who couldn't apply the finishing touch. Again, it was a flat performance from Real Sociedad, lacking any inspiration or creativity in the final third. This man, however, had abundance of ideas, and his quality ball here is almost finished off by Nahuel Tenaglia. Sergio Gomez. This invitation for Mikel Oyarzabal and Take Kubo, probably the clearest chance for Real Sociedad, dragging a shot wide. Everybody was expecting him to find the target. Even Sivera stood still, just prayed for that ball to drag wide, which it eventually did. And this, the defining moment in the game. Nahuel Tenaglia with a stunning strike, his second goal of the season. Not the player you'd expect to come up with a volley like that. What a moment from the Argentinian, the Alaves skipper. Almost with his back to goal, the way to turn and connect a real sweet volley beyond the reach of Ramiro. But it was going to take something special to unlock this game, in which not a great deal was happening in neither end, to be fair. Sergio Gomez cross for the late run from Martin Zubimendi into the box. Protesoni would come on late into the second half for John Guride, a former Real Sociedad player. Despite there being urgency towards the end of the game, wasn't really an onslaught from Real Sociedad. This ball looking for Mikel Oyarzabal, comfortable defending for Alaves. Painful coming together there between Pablo Marin and Thomas Konechny, who was one of those half-time substitutes. Chance for Oscarson. He was offside, but it was the initial header from Martin Zubimendi which really could have caused problems for Alaves. Two late substitutions, the final roll of the dice for the visitors. Mariez Currena and Becker coming on. But they didn't have the magical solution to Real Sociedad's problems in attack. There was a standing ovation for Quique Garcia. One more, yet again, at Mendizorroza. Their top goal scorer departed for Tony Martinez. Mariez Currena was late to this ball and just caught Manu Sanchez. There was a stamp on the toe, and a yellow card for the Real Sociedad academy player. Another clear chance here for Alaves. Antonio Blanco with a beautifully guided shot, which just whistled over the crossbar. In fact, it grazed the top of the woodwork. Dying moments, Real Sociedad did put the ball into the back of the net. Becker with the cross, Oscarsson with the finish, but the Icelandic centre forward was offside. No offside there from Becker, but it was here that Oscarsson was just a step ahead of the Alaves backline. In the end, Adi Celuston not having to take one for the team as Tony Martinez was running clear. Disappointing result again for Real Sociedad. That's 3 without a win for them. But for Alaves, they come out of the bottom 3.